How to ask for a raise and actually get it. Proven salary negotiation tips. Introduction. Most people know they deserve more at work, but when it comes time to actually ask for a raise, they freeze. The words won't come out. They worry about sounding greedy, ungrateful, or even replaceable. But here's the truth. Staying silent costs you far more than rejection ever will, because every month you don't ask is a month you're working for less than your true value. In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step framework: when to ask, how to ask, what to say, and even how to handle objections, so that you not only feel confident walking into the conversation, but you actually walk out with more money in your pocket. Let's break it down into 10 chapters, from the psychology of asking to the scripts you can use word for word. Chapter 1. Why asking for a raise feels so hard. Think about this. Most of us have been taught since childhood not to talk about money. It's impolite. It's awkward. And if you've ever been told, just be grateful you have a job, you've internalized the idea that asking for more is almost selfish. On top of that, our brains hate rejection. Evolution wired us to avoid disapproval because in tribal times, rejection literally meant being left out in the cold. So when you imagine your boss frowning and saying no, your nervous system interprets it as danger. But here's the real cost of silence. If you earn $50,000 today and you deserve $55,000, staying quiet for just 3 years leaves $15,000 on the table. And that compounds because future raises are often based on your current salary. So the first reframe is this: asking for a raise isn't selfish, it's self-respect. And silence is often the most expensive decision you can make in your career. Chapter 2. When not to ask for a raise. Now, timing matters. There are moments when asking for a raise is like trying to light a candle in a hurricane. Bad times include right after company layoffs or cost-cutting announcements. During your own performance struggles, if you've missed major deadlines, it's not the moment. Or if your boss is under extreme pressure, like end-of-quarter fire drills. Why? Because context shapes perception. Even if you're deserving, if the company is bleeding cash, your request may be dead on arrival. Patience, however, is strategic. Sometimes waiting just a few weeks until review season, or until you've landed a major win, can turn a no way into an easy yes. So here's the rule. Don't ask when emotions are high or when you haven't recently demonstrated value. The raise conversation should feel like a logical next step, not an uphill battle. Chapter 3. Preparing your case with data. This is where most people fail. They walk in with feelings, not facts. I feel like I deserve more is weak, but I've increased sales by 27% this quarter, which is above team average, and I've taken on 2 new responsibilities outside my role. That's powerful. Here's your prep checklist. Research market salaries. Use Glassdoor, PayScale, LinkedIn Salary, or even job boards to benchmark your role in your city. Document your wins. Quantify them. Revenue increased, hours saved, projects delivered. Build your value file. Keep screenshots of client praise, positive emails from your boss, performance reviews, and hard data. Walking into a salary talk without data is like going into a court case with no evidence. Don't just hope to be believed, prove your case. Chapter 4. The right timing to ask for a raise. So when should you ask? Annual review season is ideal because budgets are being set and performance is already being evaluated. After a big win, just finished leading a successful project? Perfect timing. When you've expanded responsibilities. If your role has grown, but your pay hasn't, you've got leverage. Cultural nuance matters too. In the US, it's more normal to be direct. I'd like to discuss my compensation. In the UK, a softer lead-in like, I was hoping we could review whether my salary is still aligned with my responsibilities, may land better.
Regardless of country, the principle is the same. Ask when your value is undeniable and the organization has the capacity to say yes. Chapter 6. How to frame the conversation. This is where nerves spike. What do you actually say? Here's a script you can adapt word for word. Thanks for meeting with me. I've really enjoyed taking on specific project or responsibility, and I'd love to talk about aligning my compensation with the value I'm bringing to the team. Based on my contributions in list wins and market benchmarks for this role, I believe a raise to X amount would be fair. Notice a few things. You start with gratitude and value. You present facts, not feelings. And you anchor the number clearly instead of hoping they'll bring it up. And here's a mind shift. This isn't confrontation, it's collaboration. You're not saying, pay me or else. You're saying, let's align compensation with reality so I can keep delivering at my best. Chapter 7. The Psychology of Salary Negotiation. Negotiation is 80% psychology, 20% words. 3 principles to master. Anchoring effect. The first number mentioned sets the tone. If you want 60K, ask for 65K. Employers often negotiate down, not up. The power of silence. After stating your case, stop talking. Let the silence hang. Most people panic and start backpedaling. Don't. Body language. Sit tall, make steady eye contact, and speak slower than you think. Confidence sells. Remember, your manager often expects negotiation. Coming in prepared actually earns respect. Chapter 8. Handling pushback and objections. Even with the best prep, you may hear resistance. Let's role-play a few. We don't have the budget. I understand. Could we set a timeline for when this could be revisited? For example, in 3 months after the next quarter closes. You're already well paid compared to others. I appreciate that. My request is based on the specific results I've delivered and the market data for this role. I'd like my compensation to reflect that value. We'll think about it. I appreciate that. When would be a good time for me to follow up? Objections aren't the end. They're just the start of the real negotiation. Chapter 9. What to do if you still hear no. Let's be real. Sometimes, even with the best case, the answer is no. Here's what to do. Stay calm and professional. Don't burn bridges. Ask, what would it take to get there? This gives you a roadmap instead of a dead end. Agree on a timeline. For example, if I hit X goals by 6 months, could we revisit this conversation? Evaluate your options. If the company consistently undervalues you, it may be time to explore opportunities elsewhere. A no isn't failure, it's feedback, and sometimes it's motivation to find a place that recognizes your worth. Chapter 10. Building long-term negotiation confidence. Here's the secret. Negotiation isn't a one-time event, it's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Practice negotiating in small ways. Deadlines, responsibilities, even splitting chores at home. Keep your value file updated monthly, not just before reviews. Treat every role as a stepping stone. If you're consistently underpaid and undervalued, don't shrink, move. Over time, asking for your worth becomes less about courage and more about habit. In closing, asking for a raise isn't just about money. It's about sending yourself a message that your work has value and you won't settle for less. So if you've ever asked for a raise, or if you're planning to, share your story in the comments. You'll be surprised how many people are going through the same thing. And remember, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate.